Hello everybody, this is Lucas and welcome back to another HTML tutorial. So in the last video we went through the structure of a HTML document as we have right here. And at the moment all we have is just a blank empty website. We have the title at the very top, as you can see, our first web page. But now I think it's time we should start adding some content into our web page. So in this video we'll go through a couple of different ways that we can add text into our website. So let's get started. So the very first one will be, I guess we can start off with a heading. So let's do H1, which stands for heading, and the one is basically the importance or the size of our heading. So if we do heading, then inside here we can write just any word that we want. We'll do heading for now. Now if we save down, if we go back to our web page and then if we refresh it, you can see we have the heading heading. So this is the largest heading that we have. We can change the size of this. Of course, we can make the font a bit bigger or whatnot, but this is the way we declare our heading. Now there are 6 headings that we can declare. So H1 is the biggest one. Then it ranges between H1 all the way to H6. So if we do H2, and we can write our second heading in here. So we'll just do heading. We'll do heading 2. We save that and we go back to our web page. We refresh that. You can see we have ourselves a second heading. But now, if you notice, this heading is a bit bigger than this heading. The reason for that is because this is H1 and this is H2. And H1 is, it goes from the largest to smallest, so H1 will be the biggest heading, and then all the way down to H6 will be our smallest one. So if we keep going down, if we go to H3, we can write ourselves another heading. We can do heading 3, for example. We save that. And if we go back to our web page, we refresh this. Ooh, you can see we have heading 2W. So if we go back to our code, and that's because I wrote a W here. Change that, we save it. We refresh that again. You can see we have ourselves another heading, and you can see this one is smaller than H2 and H1. So that's the way it works, and it goes down all the way to H4. So if we, sorry, it goes down all the way to H6. So it goes from 1 to 6. So we'll do a couple more headings. So we have H4. Then we'll add the next biggest one, which is H5. You can do another heading, do heading 5, and we'll do the very last one, which is header 6, and then we'll just do heading 6. So if we save this, go back to our web page, you can see we have all of the 6 headings, and each one ranges in size. So this is H1, it's the biggest one. This is H2, it's the second biggest one, and it goes all the way down to heading 6. So these are the way that we can declare our headings. Obviously, any text that you put in here will be shown as the header text. And yeah, this is the way that we can add the headers. Now, let's say if you don't want to add headings, let's say we want to add some paragraph. That's very simple as well. All we have to do is we'll just do P, and what P means is it's just a paragraph. So if we go here, just write some text. This is a paragraph. Ooh. This is a paragraph. We save that, and if we go back to our website, you refresh this, you can see we have ourselves a paragraph. So this is the way that we can display any text on our HTML or on our website. There are ways to make this text bigger, but that involves CSS, which that'll be after we finish off HTML, because there is a little bit that we have to do with HTML before we can move on to CSS. But for now, this is how we can declare any text. And yeah, so that's the paragraph. Now, let's say the paragraph does work in a way. So for example, if I have a few spaces in here, so you can see we have a few spaces in here, we have like 6. If we save this, if we go back to our our website, and then if you refresh this, you can see it does not change. The reason for this is it just ignores it. All of these spaces are ignored. If there's one space, it's fine. It will add that in, but if there are a lot of spaces, as you can see in our website, it just gets ignored. You can refresh this again just in case. Yeah, you can see these spaces here are fine, but if there's any more than one space, all of the other spaces will get ignored and it will just count as one space. Now there is a way that we can overcome this, and that is with the PRE element. So PRE, instead of P, we'll do PRE. Now we have created ourselves the PRE element, which basically defines a pre-formatted text, and the text inside of the pre-formatted text is just displayed in a fixed width font, and so if we now add this inside of here, you can see whenever we refresh this, you can see now it will show all of the spaces that we add in, and it will not ignore them, unlike it did for just a paragraph. So that's the way that we can overcome, double spaces and whatnot. With the PRE though, the way it works is anything inside of it will be displayed as we write it inside of here. So for example, let's say with the normal paragraph, if I have a couple of line breaks like this, and if we want to display this, we refresh it, you can see it will still be displayed as a normal paragraph. These spaces will be they'll just be ignored, and these breaks will also be ignored. Now with the pre-formatted text, we will just display it as any way that we insert the text inside of here. So if we have a couple of line breaks in here, and now if we go back to our website, you can see it will display that exactly the way that we have it in our code. So if we remove these, for example, we go back to our website, we refresh this, you can see that the spaces that were there are no longer there. So that's the way it works with the headings, the paragraphs, and then the pre-formatted text. And that's about it for this video. It was a very quick one, a very simple one. And I'll see you in the next video where we'll go over a couple more bits. So I'll see you then. Peace out.